non-conference baseball on a busy night here in Athens, Ohio. Just next door at Ohio softball field, the Bobcats playing host to the Ohio State Buckeyes in a marquee Big Ten versus MAC showdown. But while that's going on, a sparse crowd and Rufus the Bobcat have made their way over to Bob Wren Stadium to watch the Ohio baseball squad go up against the Northern Kentucky Norse out of the Horizon League. We welcome you into Bob Wren Stadium here in beautiful Athens, Ohio. Carson Francis joining me is Evan Johnson tonight. Evan, tale of two ends of the spectrum here. Ohio, losers of their last 6. NKU, winners of 6 out of their last 7. They're steamrolling through Horizon League play, looking to add another win here today.
Yeah, both teams are definitely going to be looking to use this midweek game as a tune-up game. Obviously, the North are looking to carry on that win streak, while the Bobcats are looking to end their losing streak, especially with a big matchup this weekend against Miami.
Ohio coming in after suffering a sweep at the hands of Kent State, the second-place team in the Mid-American Conference. They'll look to get back into the win column today, and they'll turn to Trey Barkman on the mound to start his second start of the season. Got his first last week at Dayton when an inning and 2/3, gave up 1 hit, 2 earned runs, walked 2, and struck out 2. He posts a 7.23 ERA on the season, 2-2 overall. Evan, what can we expect from Trey Barkman tonight?
Yeah, I like where Barkman's been so far this season. He definitely is going to use this game to kind of hopefully get some momentum himself. Not a stranger to Northern Kentucky. He came in the game the first time these two teams played, only got 1 out, but he got a strikeout, only walked a guy, did not allow a run. So I like to see what he can do today.
We'll quickly take you through the batting order for NKU that Trey Barkman will face. Tyler Shanifelt leading things off for the Norse at second base, followed by Logan Davenport, Gabe Miranda, Josh Williams in right field, batting cleanup. Braden Rogers, the designated hitter, followed by Marcus Harrison, Sam Bond, Brennan Rowe, and Mark Nowak. Rounding things out for the Norse. And with that, Tyler Shanifelt will make his way into the batter's box. And Barkman delivers the first pitch, taken outside for ball 1. We are underway from Athens, Ohio.
Very dangerous leadoff hitter, and Shanifelt, one of their top hitters and a speed guy.
Shanifelt, the Dayton, Ohio native, batting .322 on the year, 49 hits. He is third on the team in that category. The 1-1 down and inside and to the backstop.
He's been great leading off with, now he's on a 9-game hit streak, looking to make it 10 right here.
2-1. This one inside, and that looked like it might have got a piece of Shanifelt. Hit him on the back hamstring on his right leg there. So he'll get some attention from our home plate umpire, Pat Atkins.
Hopefully he's all right here, but definitely not a guy you want to get on the bases right away. Someone with plus speed.
That ball had some movement inside, and now the athletic trainer for Northern Kentucky will make her way out to have a chat with Tyler. The 5'7" grad student transfer from Division III Wilmington College. Definitely not something you want to see from your leadoff hitter to start the game, as he will take some stretches. He appears to be on his way to first base, so good sign to see Tyler Shanifelt up and running, and he will take first base, leadoff hit by pitch to start the evening.
Number 17, Logan Davenport.
Shanifeld's only been caught stealing once this year, successful 22 out of 23 times.
Now that brings up the dangerous Logan Davenport, who currently is the best batter in the Horizon League with a .420 batting average.
This kid is special, and he can rake. Third in all of NCAA Division I in OPS. He can just do it all.
A career-high 5-hit game against Miami back on February 28th. 2 doubles and a home run. Pickoff throw to first gets away. And Shaneyfeld will easily take second. He's going to try and go for third. Stop sign at third for Tyler Shaneyfeld. And the grad student takes huge advantage off the throwing error from Barkman.
That's exactly what Shaneyfeld wanted the pitcher to do. He wanted him to throw over. You could see him dancing, hopping over there. And when when a pitcher throws over multiple times, there's a good chance for error.
Right away, Tyler Shaneyfeld stands at 90 feet away from a run as the first official offer to Logan Davenport is inside for a ball.
Davenport with his own hit streak of 7. Could definitely use another one right now, knock in the first run of the game.
Takes a called strike there. Barkman has walked 23 on the year, gives up a lot of free passes as Davenport pops this one over to second, and Bryant is right there to make the play, out number 1.
Looks like he shattered his bat. Went right towards pitcher.
You don't see that a lot in college baseball. Obviously, they use metal bats in college baseball. It's usually something you see with the wooden bat. So it had to hit the bat in just enough of a spot to where it caused some damage, and we'll have to use a new bat for at least the remainder of this game.
Can't say I've ever seen that, a non-wooden bat breaking like that. He had the knob of the bat still in his hand.
So now 1 away for Gabe Miranda. Batting .378 on the year, the 0-1 outside, and evens the count. Miranda, the redshirt sophomore out of Orange, California, transferred to Northern Kentucky after spending 2 seasons at TCU down in the Big 12. That was a called strike there from Barkman, high in the zone.
Miranda's a guy with great vision as well. 30 walks this year, leads his team. The first time he played the Bobcats, he had 2 of them.
1-2 from Barkman, just a bit outside, and that will even up the count back at 2 apiece.
Shows his vision there, patient, even with 2 strikes, waiting on the pitch he wants.
He's driven in 50 runs this season. The 2-2 fouled away. Norse winners of 4 straight, including a Horizon League sweep of Purdue Fort Wayne over the weekend. They stand second in their conference as Barkman sends one high, and that will fill up the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the redshirt sophomore. Payoff pitch from Barkman, high and outside, ball 4. And the Norse have runners on the corners with 1 out.
And now you have Josh Williams just completing the top of this lineup, just showing how dangerous it is. Josh Williams, over 1,000 OPS so far this season.
Yeah, Evan, you and I talked pregame how dangerous this 1 through 4 is for Northern Kentucky.
It's truly incredible. Just 4 guys, and they're so good at many different things. We talked about the speed, the vision, the power. They've got it all in those top 4 spots.
First pitch, Williams grounded over to second. Throw to first is in time, but Shaneyfeld scores from third, and Northern Kentucky draws first blood here in the top of the first.
It's a quality at-bat right there, just keeping it on the ground, especially with 1 out. Give Shaneyfeld plenty of time to score and get the first run of the game.
RBI number 49 on the year for Josh Williams. Puts NKU up 1-0 with 2 outs for Braden Rogers. As this pitch kicks up in the turf and gets away from Blake Reed behind the plate. And Gabe Miranda will move up to third now after the pass ball.
We've seen those self-inflicted wounds be a problem for the Bobcats in the past, and can't let guys get into scoring position like that on free passes.
That's one thing that Trey Barkman has struggled with this year. Obviously, I mentioned the number of walks he's issued, but just a lot of free passes, whether it be wild pitches, you hit a batter. Just getting guys on base without really making the batter work has been something really that a lot of Ohio pitchers this year have struggled with.
And we even saw, to start this game on the pickoff attempt. It's not even just to the batters, to the runners, too, throwing the ball around.
2-1. Down and outside, 3 balls and a strike to Rogers. Rogers, the Queen Creek, Arizona native. 3-1, down and away, and another walk issued by Trey Barkman. And once again, the Norse have runners on the corners, this time with 2 outs.
Now batting for the Norse, third baseman number 10, Marcus Harris.
Now that'll bring up Marcus Harrison, the third baseman in today's lineup, batting .257 on the year. First pitch taken for called strike 1.
Harrison is looking to get out of a slump against their last series against Purdue Fort Wayne, 0 for 7 with 4 strikeouts.
Runner thought about going from first. He holds off as Harrison takes ball 1 on the count. I was looking at the wrong player when I read his stats. Harrison batting .176 on the year, just 12 hits. It's a pick off to first as Drew Cox over there able to hang on to it.
Braden Rogers on first base has not had a stolen base this year, but getting a big lead off, testing them, throwing it over again. Not a bad decision when you've seen him throw it away once this inning.
Called strike 2 to Marcus Harrison. Trey Barkman would love to see this first inning end with only 1 run across. It's the 1-2, high and away. Two the count to Harrison. We'll try again, high and away.
He's been attacking the outside spot for most of these batters, and it's an interesting spot right here where we see Cam Bryant second. He's really close to the bag. There's a big gap on that back side.
Payoff from Barkman. Runner goes from first, just outside. The third walk of the game issued by Trey Barkman will load the bases with 2 outs here in the top of the first.
Not an ideal spot to be with such a powerful lineup.
Now batting for the
The Norse rank first or second in almost every hitting category in the Horizon League.
Yeah, this is a dangerous team, no doubt. 22-16 overall, second place in the Horizon League. As Sam Bond, the starting catcher in the Norse lineup today, stands in, bases juiced and 2 outs. The 1-0, Bond looks at this one high for ball 2. Bond, the transfer from Thomas More University, batted .368 last season with 56 hits, 20 doubles for the Thomas More Saints. $15 runs batted in on the season, 3-0. Down and away, make that RBI number 16. And 3 straight walks issued by Trey Barkman will drive in another run for NKU.
now batting for the Norse.
There we go. I was waiting for the meeting to come out. Coach needs to get his pitcher settled down. Haven't seen a strike in a while. Just, breathe in, breathe out. Next play.
Obviously, to these Tuesday night games, they're often what we call in Major League Baseball bullpen games. You don't have a traditional starter that will go out there and give you 5, 6, 7 innings on these Tuesday nights. These are the nights where your typical starting pitchers will get some rest, and your bullpen guys will go out and get some reps here. So it'll be interesting to see how short or long of a leash Trey Barkman will have tonight. But seeing some guys head down to the Ohio bullpen to get loose, it doesn't look like that leash is going to be too long.
Yeah, like you mentioned, at the start here, this is only his second start of the season, his 15th appearance, but this isn't usually a spot for Barkman where he's usually in, maybe not as comfortable being the starter.
Barkman usually used in middle to late relief situations. He started the season in more of a setup closer role. As now Brennan Rowe stands in, takes a called strike. Rowe, the redshirt senior out of Powell, Ohio, batting .279 on the year. The 0-1. Called strike 2. Bases loaded. NKU already 2 runs on the board. They haven't got a base hit yet. The 0-2 fouled back.
Yeah, like you mentioned, a lot of free passes of, bases loaded, 2 runs already scored, and not a single hit recorded. It's very hard to do.
0-2 from Barkman, high. Maybe some breathing room now for Brennan Rowe. As there is a man warming up down in the Ohio bullpen already. Fouled into the glove, strike 3, as Trey Barkman, after giving up 2 via free passes, works out of a jam. And Northern Kentucky holds a 2-0 lead going into the bottom of the first. Bobcats bring out their bats when we return. Two 2-0 Northern Kentucky leads as the Ohio Bobcats bring out their bats here in the bottom of the first. They'll go up against Logan Wilson, the junior out of Erlanger, Kentucky. Wilson making his second start on the year, posting a .342 ERA, 1-1. on the year. As Cam Bryant leads things off for Ohio, he fouls this first pitch away.
Logan Wilson has been one of the best relievers this year for Northern Kentucky, getting the start today.
The transfer from UC Claremont, as he forces Cam Bryant to foul one to the backstop. Bryant batting .306 on the year, riding a 7-game hit streak. He's been one of the hot hitters for this Bobcats squad in a dull period of time. He lays off that one 1-2. He's also hit safely in 12 of his last 13. One, two for Bryant. He lays off this one in the turf, evens the count. Try again from Wilson, the 2-2, high and outside. Bryant from 0-2 now to a full count, looking to get on as the leadoff man today for Ohio.
Love how Bryant is working the count right now. He attacked early, didn't get what he wanted, got it to a full count.
Payoff from Wilson. This one popped up foul and out of play, and we'll try again. Over at the Ohio softball field, the Bobcats hosting Ohio State in a big in-state matchup. The Buckeyes leading 5-1 in the third inning. We'll try again. Payoff pitch to Cam Bryant. Swing and a miss. A back and forth battle. But Logan Wilson comes out on top, strikes out Cam Bryant.
That was a beautiful pitch, just attacking, going right at him for his 25th strikeout of the season.
And now that brings up arguably the most powerful hitter in this Ohio lineup, Ben Slanker, the MAC leader in home runs. As he lays off that one low for ball one, Slanker 16 homers, 50 RBI on the season. He was 2 for 11 with the home run in the Kent State series.
And the first time these two teams faced off in late March, Slanker got 2 of them against the Norse, so they know what he's all about, and we'll see how they attack him here today.
Slanker ahead 2-0 as this one kisses the inside corner of the zone, strike one. The strikeout to Cam Bryant was strikeout number 25 on the year to Logan Wilson, as he's struggling right here with Ben Slanker as he's got a hitter's count, 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, definitely trying to get those corners, throwing around him, keeping it low.
3-1, swing and a miss. Slanker likes to hit the ball into straightaway right field, and if he sends one yard that way, watch out if you're at the softball game. Payoff pitch. Down and inside, and Ben Slanker works his way on base with the walk. His 30th walk drawn on the season. Will quickly take you through the rest of the batting lineup for Ohio. Cam Bryant and Ben Slanker already have seen the plate. Nick Dolan up to bat now, followed by Trey Cassidy playing third base today. Jackson Cawthorn, the designated hitter, followed by Blake Reed behind the plate. Drew Cox at first base. Brady Alexander and Trenton Neuer rounding out the lineup for the Bobcats as Nick Dolan takes one outside for ball one.
Dolan has been heating up lately, had 2 home runs in the series against Kent State last weekend. Also 4 straight games with a hit. The veteran is definitely heating up, looking to keep the inning going.
Yeah, that 4-game hit streak started in the final game of the VMI series. Before that game, he was 2 of his last 24. He homered in that Game 3 against VMI, and I think that was really the at-bat that got him going. He just needed to see one leave the yard. Sometimes you have that if you're a batter.
Yeah, baseball is a game of streaks. It's a very streaky game, and whatever it takes to, bust that slump.
Two one the count to the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania native as he fouls this one back 2-2. Dolan, the most experienced member of this Ohio Bobcats squad. The redshirt seniors played in 161 games in his tenure here in Athens. There's the 2-2 from Wilson outside, and 3-2 stands the count to Nick Dolan, the third straight batter already to reach a full count for Ohio.
Especially in a bullpen game, Wilson could be out early. All 3 hitters, like you mentioned, working the counts.
Payoff pitch as Dolan lays off this one that's just outside, and now back-to-back walks issued by Logan Wilson. And the Bobcats now with 2 runners on in their half of the first.
That was a great take right on the outside there. Pretty close, but beautiful eye.
Trey Cassidy.
Now Trey Cassidy stands on 1 out and 2 away. Cassidy, we talked about this before the game. We've seen him play a lot of catcher. We've seen him play some first base here as of late, but today he gets the starting nod at third. As Cassidy fouls away the first pitch, 0-1.
Cassidy can make an immediate impact on this game. Leads the team in doubles with 14. 1 in the gap, could be scoring 2.
21 runs batted in on the season for Trey Cassidy. See, 0-1. Breaking ball finds the zone, called strike 2. Cassidy was 2 for 8 in the series against Kent State. He doubled and drove in a run. Facing an 0-2 count here is Wilson. Cassidy chops this one over to third. Harrison, throw to first is in time. There's 2 away, but the runners do advance 90 feet with 2 outs.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. It was able to advance the runners on that for Harrison. He did a great job of attacking that. But when it's such a high, choppy ball like that, he has no time to turn 2. But he did get the out. 1 out, 1.
2 away for Jackson Cawthron, who comes into this game on a 5-game hit streak. Cawthron fouls this one back. We've seen already through the first 5 batters, the Bobcats being aggressive at the plate. A lot of first pitch swinging.
Yeah, it's what you love to see out your hitters attacking early. They've not been able to square one up so far, but you love the approach.
Jackson Cawthron batting .292 on the year. It was 4 for 6 over the weekend at Kent State. The 1-1, Cawthron fouled back. This is an Ohio team that likes to score a lot of runs, even though sometimes it hasn't panned out their way. They like to score, be aggressive at the plate. As I mentioned, we've seen so far here. It's the 1-2. Cawthron up the middle, base hit. 1 run will score. Wave is on for Dolan. 2 RBI single from Jackson Cawthron ties the game.
Just like that, the Bobcats tie the game up. Like we talked about, they like to score early, and they did that here. Jackson, we saw him attacking from the count right away, and he was able to find his pitch and hit a Just a perfect ground ball up the middle where no one could get to it.
Just a case of see ball, hit ball. Cawthorn sends it right back up the middle. And the first base hit of the game ties it up at 2. And now Blake Reed stands in there. Interesting note here in the Ohio lineup. The 4, 5, 6 batters are all listed as catchers, but they all stand playing different positions today. As we mentioned earlier, Trey Cassidy playing third. Jackson Cawthorn is the DH in the Ohio lineup, and Blake Reed is calling the shots behind the plate. One 0 to Reed, down and away. Reed hit his first home run of the season in the series finale against Eastern Michigan. He's got 3 on the year. 2-0. Down low, 3 balls and no strikes. (3-0). Take all the way, and it pays off. The third walk of this opening inning for the Bobcats. And now 2 runners are on with 2 outs.
Yeah, they've been really working Logan Wilson. Wilson up to 30 pitches already in just the first inning.
As we'll have a meeting on the mound for NKU. Looks like there are some guys getting loose down there. Can't tell if anyone is warming up. But with that, Drew Cox will stand at the plate. Made his first career start last week against Dayton. Went 1 for 4 with a 2 RBI double. First pitch to Cox. Thought about it, but it doesn't matter anyway. It's called strike 1. It's a family matter here for Drew Cox. His father, Andy, played collegiate baseball at Northern Kentucky from 1997 to 2001. Cox sends this one up the middle. It's a base hit. They're going to send Cawthorn to the plate. Here's the throw. No tag. And Cawthorn saves. The Bobcats have the lead. Runners advance 90 feet. Drew Cox, who just made his collegiate debut a week ago, gives the Bobcats the early lead here in the first inning.
First pitch, send it right back up the middle. Very aggressive approach right there, and it worked out.
Left fielder number 7, Brady Alexander.
That throw wasn't by any means an easy throw from center, and it wasn't easy for the lead runner, Cawthorn, to get there. But no tag was made at the plate. RBI single from the true freshman, Drew Cox.
Really cool moment for him doing that against his dad's alma mater.
Brady Alexander quickly down 0-2 in the count. Alexander, 3-0-2 batter, entered the collegiate scene with a bang. 5 for 6, 2 home runs, 7 RBI against Morehead State. As the 0-2 upstairs, and Alexander able to lay off. Two runners in scoring position for Alexander as he lays off this one outside. The count is even. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the freshman. Wilson winds up and delivers. Swing and a miss. And that will end the inning, but not before Ohio answers right back. Puts 3 runs up in the bottom of the first to take the lead. And we'll head to the second. 9-1-2 due up for Northern Kentucky.
2 hits, no errors, and 2 many.
Second inning set to commence here from Bob Wren Stadium. The Bobcats leading 3-2 on Northern Kentucky. As Trey Barkman back out there facing Mark Nowak, the 9-hitter for the Norse. As he pops this one foul and out of play, 1-1 the count. Nowak just 20 at-bats on the year for Northern Kentucky, a .050 batting average.
Yeah, just 1 hit on the season so far for the freshman, looking to get his footing here on the next level.
Nowak up the middle to Barkman. Good awareness. Turn around and make the play. Trey Barkman showing off the glove for out number 1.
Hey, who said pitchers aren't athletes? That was a beautiful play by Barkman right up the middle there. Good reaction time, turning the body and still not panicking, making sure a safe throw to first.
Now the Norse back to the top of the lineup. Tyler Shaneyfelt at the dish. Takes one just outside for ball 1. Shaneyfelt played 3 seasons at Wilmington College before making his way to Northern Kentucky. There he was named All-Ohio Athletic Conference 3 times. There's the 2-0 in there for a called strike 1. Second team All-Horizon League last year was Shaneyfelt. Fouls this one away. Here's the 2-2. Shaneyfelt fouls this one down the left field line into the Ohio bullpen. Tyler Shaneyfelt making Trey Barkman work out there.
Yeah, we saw Shaneyfelt get on the first time, come around and score for his 53rd time of the season.
And now Shaneyfelt lines this one into left field, down for a base hit. Hit number 50 on the season for Tyler Shaneyfelt, and with 1 away, the Norse have a runner on.
That's what he does. Not a big power guy, just able to get little base hits right there, but he uses his speed around the base pass to make him a dangerous runner. Leads the entire Horizon League in runs scored.
Pickoff over to first. Not in time. Shaneyfelt extending that hitting streak to double digits now. 10 straight games with the base hit. Now Logan Davenport at the plate. Another pickoff is not in time. Evan, we saw back in the first inning, it was the pickoff attempts to Tyler Shaneyfelt that got him over to third and allowed him later on to score the first run of the game. Shaneyfelt thought about going as Davenport pulls back on the bunt.
See if they actually end up going with small ball here to get Shaneyfelt in scoring position.
Another pickoff to first. They are really set on keeping Shaneyfelt honest over at first base. There's the 1-0. Ran up inside on Davenport, and he gets out of the way. 2-0 the count.
See Shaneyfelt doing what he did last time he was on base, kind of dancing around that first. He's daring Barkman to throw over, and he keeps wanting to. He's been getting back in plenty of time, waiting for him to make another mistake.
The count to Davenport. This one inside, and Davenport able to hold off. 3-0 the count. Tyler Shaneyfelt, 22 stolen bases. As take all the way for Davenport there. 3-1 the count. We've seen him already being active on the base pass. Another pickoff. You know, the numbers don't lie. As I said, 22 stolen bases already, and they're not looking to make number 23 very easy on him. As Davenport sends this one to center. Going back at the wall, you can forget about it. Logan Davenport, 2-run blast. And Northern Kentucky back in the lead here in the top of the second.
Beautiful swing by Davenport there, and that's why he is possibly maybe the best player in all the Horizon League. Ranks, first in almost every hitting category, and we saw the power right there.
And head coach Craig Moore will make his way out of the Ohio dugout, as that is going to do it on the evening for Trey Barkman. New pitcher will come in for the Bobcats with 1 out in the top of the second, and we'll tell you more about him when we return from Athens. 4-3 NKU. So Trey Barkman out, Landon Price in on the mound for Ohio. A 2-run shot from Logan Davenport puts NKU in the league, and now Gabe Miranda sends one to left field. At the warning track is Alexander, who makes the catch, and quickly Landon Price gets his first out of the night.
Now batting for the Norse. Right fielder number 29, Josh Williams.
Landon Price in his 14th appearance on the year. 8.31 ERA, last pitched on Thursday the 17th against Kent State. 2 1/3, 3 hits, 3 earned runs. He walked 2 and struck out 2. Landon Price, the former Ohio State Buckeye, transferred to OU last year. We say that is Ohio State's softball team, playing just next door. 2-0 inside to Josh Williams.
Landon Price, another one of those consistent relievers we've seen multiple times this season, but still has not had a lot of great outings, looking to hopefully build some confidence before the Miami series this weekend.
And a 4-pitch walk issued by Price to Josh Williams.
Now batting for the Norse, designated hitter number
And the Norse put a runner on with 2 outs to bring up Braden Rogers. Final stat line for Trey Barkman: inning in a 3rd pitch, 2 hits, 4 runs, only 2 of them were earned. He walked 4 and only struck out 1. And as this ball gets away from Reed, Williams moves up 90 feet into scoring position.
The control has been an issue for Price this year. We just saw him get his 17th walk compared to only just 10 strikeouts.
Yeah, I feel like control has been the Achilles heel of this Bobcats pitching squad, giving up a lot of free passes throughout the year. As you have to wonder, if they can cut that number down, how many more games does this team win? There's the 2-0 to Price, and that got him. Second free pass issued by Landon Price out of the Ohio bullpen. And now 2 runners stand on with 2 away for Marcus Harrison.
for the Norse. Third baseman number 10, Marcus Harrison.
Braden Rogers was really in on the plate there. Almost all of these hitters has been at the very back of the box, but he had no chance of getting out of that one right at his legs.
Price enters the game, gets a quick out, but then he walks and hits his next 2 batters respectively, looking to finally get his team out of the 2nd inning. It's a called strike 1 to Harrison. 0-1 pickoff back to second, keeping Josh Williams in check. Harrison, the transfer from Central Arizona College. There's a check swing there. They say he did go around, and that quickly puts him down 0-2.
Price has a great opportunity to get out of the inning here, get out of another jam. He's got a runner in scoring position.
0-2 from Price, high and away. Last season at Central Arizona, Harrison, a .313 batter, 5 homers, 32 runs driven in. 1-2. Outside again. Harrison 0 for 6 in his last appearance. Looking for something better today as he sends this one into right field. It drops for a base hit. Wave is on for Williams. He will score standing up. And Northern Kentucky tacks on to this lead. It's 5-3.
A much-needed hit for Harrison. We talked about how he was in that slump, and that's a beautiful hit just right into right field right there, and able to get his 6th RBI of the season.
Just a little blooper into right field, dropped in no man's land. And a run comes home. Braden Rogers goes from first to third. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Here's Sam Bond. Swing and a miss. Bond walked his last time up. Northern Kentucky looking to add to this lead. 0-1. Got him, strike 2.
Ball had some great movement on it. Had Bond frozen.
Quickly down 0-2 is Bond. Ground ball over to short, sliding grab by Dolan. Throw to first, not in time, and a run scores. Infield single for Sam Bond. Rogers comes home from third, 6-3, Northern Kentucky.
That was a really hard play for Dolan. He was pinched in, looking, towards second with a runner on first. Gets the stop and just didn't have enough time.
A good hustle from Nick Dolan, who, as we mentioned with this Ohio lineup, some guys may be playing out of position or positions that they haven't played a lot this year, Dolan being one of them. Good hustle at short from Dolan, just not enough. Brennan Rowe up there now. He struck out to end the first inning. It's 1-0 from Price. Rowe squares around to bunt. This one's inside and gets away from Reed. Almost to the backstop. Runners move up 90 feet.
Another time, third time this game where we've seen, either an errant pitch or an errant throw to first, move runners into scoring position, just more free passes that the Bobcats cannot afford.
Yeah, this is an Ohio squad that in 5 of their last 6 games and 4 straight, they've given up north of 10 runs. It's a 2-0. Taken on the outside corner, called strike 1. Two-one from Price. This one chopped foul. Price has been doing a good job getting batters to 2-strike counts, but he's struggled right now to finish these at-bats. Let's see if he can finish off Brennan Rowe. Here's the 2-2. This one lined up the middle, another base hit. One will score. Here comes Bond from second, and Northern Kentucky still pouring on in the second, a 6-run inning. 8-3 NKU.
Price just put that ball right down the middle. Put it right in the zone for Rowe to hit the, Rowe put it right back to where he got it, up the middle. And he just keeps the runs going for the Norse.
Northern Kentucky's batted around here in the second. Mark Nowak led things off, and he stands in for the second time today. Grounded out to Trey Barkman, who made a nice grab with his glove. Had to reach back behind him to make the play. As the 1-0, Nowak squares around a bunt. Price Barehand throw to first, gets away. Into foul ground. Wave is on for Brennan Rowe. Rowe will score standing, or not standing up, but he slides into the plate on the throwing error. And I don't know if you could see it first, but Nowak and Drew Cox collided at the bag. And I think part of that is what caused the ball to get away from Drew Cox.
Yeah, that was a big collision right there. Looks like everyone's doing all right. Surprised to see that they went with a small ball with 2 outs. It wasn't a perfect bunt up the middle there. Price had to make a quick throw and just kind of put it near the runner's lane. Big collision right there.
Now we'll have a chat with home plate umpire Pat Adkins.
I think Coach Moore's questioning if there should have been an interference there.
Right now our live stats say that I will go as a single to Mark Nowak, as the call is final. Nowak safe at first, and the run counts 9-3. Northern Kentucky as Tyler Shaneyfelt returns to the dish. He singled and scored off the homer from Davenport. First pitch to Shaneyfelt, lays off this one down low. Some more movement now in the Ohio bullpen. 7 runs have come across for Northern Kentucky here in the second. The 1-0 Shaneyfelt would have liked to have had that one go his way as he had to do a little dance in the batter's box, but it does not bounce his way. 1 ball and 1 strike. Runner on first with 2 outs. Runner goes. Here's the throw down to second. Not in time. A stolen base for Mark Nowak.
Nowak got a great jump there. Now his 7th stolen base of the year. He's only been caught once. Wasn't a bad throw at all by Blake Reed, but just not in time.
Scoreboard here at Bob Wren does clarify that bunt that Mark Nowak reached first on will go down. Or no, they just took it off the scoreboard here. So we'll see. We'll figure out eventually one of these days what the official ruling on that was. Meanwhile, the 3-1 to Shaneyfelt pops this one fouling out of play.
Another situation where Price is 2 strikes, 2 outs, a chance to get out of the inning. See if he's able to capitalize on the pitch now.
Yeah, just as I said, hasn't done a great job finishing these at-bats. Payoff pitch from Price. Shaneyfelt chops it over to first. Foul ball.
That looked to be exactly what Price wanted, just a little dribbler down, but just goes over the line.
Shaneyfelt, the Kettering Fairmont graduate. He's reached base twice already, looking to add another. We'll try again. Payoff. Shaneyfelt lined into the gap, base hit. They're sending Nowak rounding third, throw to the plate offline. Shaneyfelt up to second. RBI single for Tyler Shaneyfelt. It's an 8-run inning for the Norse. 10-3.
Great 2-strike approach there from Shaneyfelt. Again, putting it up the middle. All their base hits have just been solid contact. Just kind of putting them where the Ohio defenders aren't in gaps to where, they're able to get extra bases there off of the throw.
Now head coach Craig Moore making his way out of the dugout, and that is going to be all for Landon Price. A short outing, and one that Landon Price will like to forget. We'll step aside and tell you about the new pitcher for the Bobcats. When we return to Bob Wren, Bobcats trailing by a touchdown. Jimmy Serra, the new pitcher for Ohio after Northern Kentucky has poured it on in the second. 8 runs have come across as Jimmy Serra looks to finally stop the bleeding. His 9th appearance on the year, 15.63 ERA. He went a third of an inning where he walked a batter against Kent State. Has no rest for the weary here for Jimmy Serra facing the dangerous Logan Davenport.
Yeah, not an ideal situation for him. He comes in the second inning, he has to go against the guy who he watched in the same inning put a ball over the right center wall.
Shaneyfeld on second, the 1-1. Breaking ball finds the top corner. And another 2-strike count to a Northern Kentucky batter. See if Jimmy Serra can put this inning away.
Both strikes have been on a curveball. We'll see if he'll go for a third time.
1-2. Just misses down low. And that'll leave in the count. Eight-run inning for the NK Norse. As this one fouled off by Davenport. Jimmy Serra. His best outing was on April 1st against Morehead State, went a full inning, didn't give up a run, and struck out a batter. It's the 2-2. This one lined over to first and caught. Drew Cox makes a diving catch for a blistering ball down the right field line. And that'll retire the side, not before Northern Kentucky puts 8 runs up on the board, and they take a 10-3 lead as we go to the bottom of the second here in Athens. New pitcher on the mound for NKU. It's the 6'1 graduate student, the lefty Bobby Bartlett out of Winfield, Illinois. Comes in relief of Logan Wilson. Bartlett making appearance number 15 on the year. He's the winning pitcher in his last outing against Purdue Fort Wayne, an inning and 2/3. Gave up a hit, struck out a batter as well. So he enters this game with his team in a comfortable 10-3 lead as he delivers ball one to Trenton Neuer.
Well, the Bobcat lineup had no problem when they faced Bartlett the first time earlier this season. Bartlett only able to get through a third of an inning, giving up 3 hits and 3 earned runs.
Called strike to Trenton Neuer. Neuer, grad student out of Nicholasville, Kentucky, batting .276 on the season. 3 for 10 in the series against Kent State as he chops this one foul down the third base line. Now, if you're Ohio, you see 8 runs come across on the other side. But it's only the second inning. That's the silver lining. This is a long game. You've got plenty of chances to cut away at this deficit. 1-2 to Neuer outside.
We've seen it go both ways this season where Ohio either has a big lead or they're down a lot early in the game and they made the comeback. So this is a spot they've been in before and that they know they can make the comeback.
Here's the 2-2 from Bartlett. Neuer fouls this one down the left field line again.
Just early on the off speed there, had some sideways movement to it. Close to just putting it down that line.
Try the 2-2 again. This one inside to the backstop. Fills up the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Final line for Logan Wilson. A full inning, 3 earned runs off of 2 hits, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Through 37 pitches just in that first inning. Payoff pitch. This one fouled and out of play.
Neuer putting up a great fight to lead off the inning. Just keeps having long foul balls, waiting for his pitch.
Payoff to Neuer. This one upstairs and outside. And Trenton Neuer works his way to a leadoff walk to start the second.
A great at-bat, working up the pitch count. Kept the fight on the entire at-bat and gets rewarded with a walk.
Yeah, and that's what we saw in the first inning from the Bobcats going against Logan Wilson. They made him work for just about everything. Worked that pitch count up, and that's why his outing was only a full inning long, as Cam Bryant pops this one up. Underneath it to make the grab is the shortstop, Brennan Rowe, for out number 1.
Well, that's a gamble with attacking early there. You know, we've seen almost every hitter in their approach is they want to get on top of it early. As we see Cam Bryant, he popped that one, but you can't have weak outs when you're going to be swinging at first pitch.
1 on, 1 away for Ben Slanker, who walked and came around to score back in the first. No official at bat yet, as he looks at this one right down Broadway for strike 1. Oh, 1 to Slanker, who looks at that one again. Getting some good pitches. Slanker keeping the bat on his shoulders at the moment.
Don't know what what pitches he thought he was going to get. Definitely not what he was expecting.
0-2 to Slanker, chopped foul.
But Slinker has the ability to get his team back into this game, and they're definitely going to need his power in order to make a comeback, get a run going here.
Yeah, you can't get 7 runs back all at once, but you can chip away one at-bat at a time. Try again the 0-2 to Slanker. Chops this one over to second. Shaneyfeld, underhand toss to first, is in time, 2 away.
Looks like he kind of got him jammed up on the inside there, was just able to hit a slow chopper to second, not able to get the barrel all the way around. Slanker was really up on the plate there.
So 2 away now for Nick Dolan, who also has no official at-bat recorded. He walked in the first inning. First pitch to Dolan downstairs and taken for ball 1. Dolan 4 for 11 in the Kent State series. As he takes that one there. Another pretty good pitch to swing at. And Dolan keeping the bat on his shoulders. 1-1 the count. There's the 1-1 from Bartlett. Dolan pops this one into foul ground. Miranda underneath it to make the grab, and that will retire the side. The Bobcats get a runner on, but that is all she wrote for the second inning. Northern Kentucky in control, 10-3 as we head to the third from Athens. Set to get underway in the top of the third inning. Gabe Miranda, the first baseman who made the final out of the second to lead things off for NKU. Sarah back out there, gets a swing and miss to start the at-bat. We've seen a lot of production from NKU 1-9. What have you liked so far, Evan?
Well, we talked about the top of their lineup, but I've really liked, the middle and bottom. They've been able to keep producing, getting on base. Second inning, they were able to just string a whole bunch of singles together. Nothing too fancy. Obviously, you had the Davenport 2-run homer. That was huge, but it's a lot of those ability to get on base and do a job, and that's what the bottom of the lineup has been able to do.
The 0-2 Chopped over to second. Bryant. Underhand throw to first. One away. That's something we haven't seen a lot from Ohio. This is the first time this game where the leadoff man is retired right away.
Yeah, they've struggled at getting outs quick, and especially weak outs like that. And that was, a great job of just getting a small chopper to second, an easy play for your defense. Start to build that confidence back up.
Right back at it is Josh Williams, who's 0 for 1 with a run batted in. He walked and came around to score back in the second. The Norse batted around and then some. 8 runs go up in the second inning to put Northern Kentucky ahead 10-3. It's the 1-1 from Sarah. Finds the zone. Strike 2.
Josh Williams has been on a heater recently in their last series against Purdue Fort Wayne. 6 hits, 3 of them home runs. Definitely been feeling the power recently.
Chops this one foul. He snapped a 3-game hitless skid on Friday the 18th, going with 4 hits, 7 runs batted in, 2 homers. The 1-2 downstairs evens the count. Finished that series against Purdue Fort Wayne, a sweep for the Norse. Went 6 for 15 with 10 runs batted in. 2-2, chopped foul. You kind of sense Josh Williams up there right now doing what the Bobcats did to Logan Wilson in the first. Fouling a lot of pitches off, getting that pitch count up, making the opposition work. 2-2, called strike 3. Breaking ball finds the heart of the zone. 2 up, 2 down for Jimmy Serra in the third inning.
Great pitch. Just had Josh Williams frozen right there. And it's a good pitch when one of their best hitters didn't even have a chance to put a swing on it.
Now here's Braden Rogers with 2 outs. As he looks at that one down low for ball 1, Rogers has been on base twice by way of free pass. Walked in the first, was hit in the previous inning. As he lines this one into left field, foul ball. That was pretty close from our angle.
Yeah, that looked right on the line. That was a rocket.
Northern Kentucky 22-16 overall. They stand in second place in the Horizon League, trailing only Wright State. The Raiders have been a pretty solid program in the Horizon League here as of late. Blue ball into foul territory in right field. You've seen Wright State in the NCAA tournament from time to time here recently. Most notably back in 2021, they had Tennessee on the ropes in Knoxville before the Volunteers launched a walk-off grand slam to end the Raiders' season.
Yeah, Wright State definitely a powerhouse in the Horizon League, and definitely a team Northern Kentucky has marked on their calendars every year, trying to dethrone them.
Northern Kentucky will travel to Dayton on May 9th, 10th, and 11th to battle Wright State in Horizon League play. Fly ball center field. Neuer to make the catch. 1-2-3 goes Northern Kentucky. Norse still ahead by 7. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Trey Cassidy set to lead off for Ohio when we return. It's 10-3 Northern Kentucky in front as the third baseman Trey Cassidy will lead us off for the Bobcats. Despite the score maybe not being in the Bobcats' favor, pretty good crowd is filed in late here at Bob Wren. Maybe some people making their way over from softball. As Ohio State well in control over at Ohio softball field, 15-3. Buckeyes in front. It looks like Sloopy's going to hang on, at least for right now. But back over to this game, Trey Cassidy, a 1-0 count. As the Bobcats were able to retire Northern Kentucky in order. Line drive over to Shaneyfelt. Right place, right time. Out number one.
I mean, that is just unfortunate. I'd love to see the exit velo on that because he blasted that one just right at Shaneyfelt.
And that's the cruelty of the game of baseball. You can get perfect contact on the pitch that you were waiting for just for something like that to happen. One away for Jackson Cawthron. Cawthron, high fly ball, right center field at the warning track to make the catch as Nowak quickly 2 down for Ohio.
Attacking first pitch, and they're starting to square up some balls. That was a hard hit ball. Great contact, just didn't have the distance to go all the way.
That's 2 straight batters now who make pretty good contact with a pitch they like, just not able to get it to land in their favor as a first pitch swing by Blake Reed is foul.
You got to be feeling really good about yourself if you're Bartlett right now, just getting those quick outs.
Blake Reed, the catcher for Ohio, walked his first time up. As he lays off that one upstairs, 1-1 to the Gahanna Lincoln product. Reed saw limited action last season, 12 at-bats on the year, is transitioned into a more prominent role in this Ohio lineup. Not an everyday starter, but he's had his fair share of appearances. Coming into this game, batting .312 and .890 OPS. The 1-2 lays off this one outside.
Not an everyday starter like you mentioned, but getting his he has a chance today to get some more reps in, show the coaching staff what he can do, kind of keep fine-tuning his skills.
2-2, Reed fouls this one back. And we've seen him, as he's progressed throughout the year, he's seen a lot more playing time coming with that as well. He's had some clutch at-bats throughout the year as well. He homered in the 9th inning against Morehead State to make it a 1-run game. The 2-2, Reed into center. Nowak going back and making the catch just shy of the track. Some loud outs from the Bobcats, but they go down in order. We head to the 4th. Northern Kentucky ahead by 7 here at Bob Wren.
Jimmy Serra back on the mound for the Bobcats. Last inning, he made quick work of the Norse, going 1, 2, and 3. Now he faces Marcus Harrison. Harrison has reached twice so far this game with a walk and a single. Ball low.
That's like you said earlier, Evan. This Northern Kentucky lineup, really top to bottom, there's no easy outs. And even when they're not getting hits, they're finding ways to get on base, making these Ohio pitchers throw a lot of pitches, as that's what we've seen from Marcus Harrison.
Yeah, very aggressive lineup, doing the small things right. So we see ball 2 here. Harrison looking to find his footing here, batting 176 coming into this game. As we mentioned, he's already got a hit this game, looking to bump those numbers up.
Yeah, and maybe that hit earlier will help his confidence as well.
The 3-0 pitch gets the called strike.
Yeah, take all the way. Harrison thought that he had ball 4, but Serra able to find the corner of the zone.
3-1 pitch is out, and Harrison can now walk down the line. His second walk of the game. And for Serra, that was his first time he's had a base runner in 5 batters. So he's made great work so far. Got to get back into the groove here.
And if you're Northern Kentucky, I think they've done this kind of throughout this whole game, but they're just taking what Ohio gives them. And that's why they've been able to get a lot of free passes, a lot of base runners on.
Called strike 1 there on the outside corner. Sam Bond up to the plate now. Same as Harrison. His first at-bat, he walked. In his second, he also got a single. Just showing how that bottom of the lineup has been able to make good work getting those singles. Pitch low. Blake Reed able to keep it in front of himself. No advancement from Harrison on first. 1-1 count.
Bond, in his high school career, set his school's record for career home runs.
Called strike 2. The breaking ball going away there. Gets the corner. Serra back to another 2-strike count. Looks at Harrison at first. Not in time.
Yeah, we've seen these Northern Kentucky base runners like to do some dancing out there on the base pass, keeping these Ohio pitchers on their toes.
The 1-2 pitch. Foul tipped. And Bond is going to stay alive. Yeah, Harrison's getting a decent-sized lead there at first. Only 5 stolen bases on the season, but like we mentioned, free passes of what Ohio's given out all day, so trying to get them to throw over. The 1-2 pitch away, 2-2.
We've seen these NKU batters work from behind in the counts. They may be down 0-2, 1-2, fight their way back and get a more favorable count.
Yeah, they don't chase at too many pitches away. Swings at that one, foul tipped, gonna stay at 2-2.
I like how Serra's breaking ball has enough movement to maybe make the batter change their mind on whether or not they want to hold off or swing.
The 2-2, high. Didn't get the drop he wanted on that one. A full count here. Still no outs. The pickoff attempt, no good again. We've seen a lot of attempts this game. So far, no successful ones. The full count pitch. Called strike 3. Bond Bond thought that one was ball 4. But he, instead of walking to first base, he will be walking to the dugout. Out 1 is a strikeout looking.
Yes, Sarah just put that one right on the border. And it goes in his favor. Like the way Sarah's been attacking, even from behind in the count.
Another pickoff attempt to first to Harrison. They keep going back to Harrison. Harrison didn't really have a big lead there. He hasn't even had to dive back to the bag. He's been on his feet almost every time. Brennan Rowe up to the plate. Shows bunt, but pulls back for ball 1. No, we've seen the bunt only one time so far this game. We'll see if they go back to the small ball. After the offense has kind of slowed down for the Norse, maybe get the small ball to get the offense moving again. The 1-0 pitch low, and it gets by Blake Reed, and Harrison will get to second standing up. Just another Ohio error.
Yeah, obviously, we think of issuing free passes. We think the pitcher walks someone, but we've seen it in the event of pass balls, wild pitches, errant pickoff attempts. Just Northern Kentucky getting a lot of freebies from this Ohio pitching staff.
The 2-0 count to Rowe. Gets the called strike low there. Great pitch going right back to the zone, keeping it low. The 2-1. Hit deep to left center. Back at the wall. And it is caught by Brady Alexander. Harrison will go to third. He will be safe on the tag up. Off the bat, I thought that ball had a chance, but falls short, and Brady Alexander gets out too.
Yeah, I thought that ball was leaving the yard. Brady Alexander covered a lot of ground to go make that catch. And fortunately, it stays in the yard just long enough. 2 away.
Now a runner on third for the Norse. Sarah looking to get out of another inning without giving up a run. That one's chopped up the middle. Dolan will make the play, and he gets the out. Ohio goes 2 straight innings without allowing a run. The Ohio offense will look to come back, maybe start get the comeback going after the break. After some loud outs last inning, Ohio is back up to the plate. Leading it off for the Bobcats is Drew Cox, who's already singled in this game. Bobby Bartlett still on the mound for the Norse. He was able to make quick work of the Bobcats last inning, going 1-2-3. But we saw some hard line drive, just not able to find a gap.
Yeah, I think Ohio maybe in that last inning went away from their approach early on. They were being aggressive to start, but not too aggressive, if that makes sense. They were just putting themselves right in position to have some quick outs.
Yeah, Drew Cox takes strike 2 there, getting down early, and we talked about the aggressiveness. 2 strikes there looking for Drew Cox. And that will be strike 3 swinging. 3 pitches is all Bartlett needed to get the strikeout.
Yeah, just a case of good morning, good afternoon, good night. Some elevation a little bit on those first 2 pitches from Bartlett. And then Cox chases one downstairs for out number 1.
Brady Alexander up to the plate now. He struck out in his first appearance. Gets him with the sword there. Brady Alexander wasn't really sure if he wanted that one or not.
Yeah, Bartlett clearly working the bottom part of the strike zone.
Alexander, we talked about how his incredible debut, but he's kind of been in a slump recently. 0-8 again in the series against Kent. You know, he's still looking for his first hit today. As he swings there for strike 2.
Yeah, obviously it's going to be challenging to replicate that same success he had in his debut, but little by little, Alexander just looks to build his confidence back up.
The 1-2 pitch from Bartlett will be fouled away from Alexander. Yeah, but it just shows his debut shows what Alexander can do. He proved to the coaches that he has the talent and skill to be here. Obviously, his expectations can't be multiple home runs every game. Inside, called ball, 2-2 count.
Yeah, that one was awfully close.
Just missed the inside corner. Foul tipped from Alexander, staying alive on a 2-2 count. Had a good 2-strike approach, just keep fighting away those pitches. Didn't look like he wanted that one too much, but was able to just poke it away to get a new life. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Alexander strikes out for the second out of the inning. That is Bartlett's second strikeout of the inning as well.
Yeah, Alexander's second time tonight going down on strikes, as well as Bartlett's been pretty efficient right now, just 1 over the minimum since taking over in the second inning, and he's 1 out away from matching his longest outing of the season.
What we saw in the third, he was able to get quick outs. He got the Bobcats swinging on first pitches, getting weaker outs, and that will just, really helps his pitch count there when he can do that. The 1-0 pitch, up the middle, but it will be lined out for number 3. For out number 3, Neuer will get the third out. The Bobcats will be up on the mound next. See if we get a new pitcher after Sarah has been pitched 2 scoreless after the break. Ohio has a new pitcher on the bump. It is the senior southpaw, Adam Beery. Beery's pitching with a 12.46 ERA so far this season. His last outing was against Dayton last week. He went 2 innings, gave up 4 earned runs, 2 hits, and a walk. He did go against this Norse lineup one time this season, only pitching a third of an inning, allowing no runs, getting a strikeout and a walk.
Yeah, not his best outing his last time up, but obviously every game, slate is clean, and you get a chance to start over. As we see right here, he's already ahead 0-2.
Yeah, he's going against the freshman Mark Nowak, who made the last out of the inning and there in center field. Up the middle, and Beery will field it himself and get the out for out number 1. Doing everything himself. Logan Davenport up to the mound. We know his power can make an impact at any moment. He had a 2-run shot earlier in the game. Beery with the ball outside.
Yeah, and that's got to be nice for Adam Beery to come in and retire a guy like Tyler Shaneyfelt, who's been on base 3 times already.
Foul tip there, 1-1. Davenport got lined out to first base in his last at-bat, but man, did he smoke that ball.
Yeah, that ball was just a blister down the first base line, and Drew Cox showed some athleticism.
Called strike there on the outside corner. Gets it to a 1-2 count. Davenport drives that one, gets in front of it, but it will go foul.
Yeah, we see again making great contact with the ball, making some noise when bat meets ball. Just not able to place it in the right spot.
Beery getting out to a great pitcher's count, 1-2 early here. Attacks him inside. That one looks like it hit him in the box, and that will be a foul ball.
Yeah, that ball had some wicked movement coming off the bat, but appeared to hit off the bottom of his leg, and it rolled down the foul line.
If it wasn't, it was about to be a perfect bunt down the line. Beery with the 1-2. Inside low for ball 2. Davenport really likes to get on that plate. He stays corner back in the box, but he gets right up on it. Not letting anything on the outside corner get by him. That one drove to left field, but it will be caught by Brady Alexander. Another hard-hit ball by Davenport results in an out. The line drive will be the second out of the inning for Northern Kentucky.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple times now from Logan Davenport. 3 lineouts. Just great contact. All just happened to be right in the position of an Ohio defender.
He is never going to go down easy, that's for sure. Ball 1 is the first pitch there. Gabe Miranda back up. Seen him walk. He's reached base and scored once this game. TC's ball 2 there.
Yeah, Miranda only 5 at-bats on the year for TCU. Here he went 1 for 5, doubled in a game against Cincinnati.
That one will be gone. See ya. Gabe Miranda with the power, and he opens his game back up for the Norse, makes it 11-3. That ball was a no-doubter.
Yeah, as soon as it came off the bat, Evan, like nobody even moved, nobody tried to make a play on that one. You knew right where it was going as soon as it left the bat.
He smoked it, adding another run for the Norse after 2 scoreless innings for them. First pitch swinging strike for Josh Williams.
Gabe Miranda now double-digit home runs on the season. And RBI number 51.
Which he leads the team in. He's been one of the best, 3-4 hole hitters in the horizon.
Actually leads the conference in runs batted in as well.
The 0-2 pitch here. Fury does not get the call outside. That would be ball one.
And the crowd's showing some displeasure too.
They did not like that call. The 1-2. Does not get the call again. It will get to a 2-2 count here.
Is playing with that outside part of the zone.
Gets the check swing, and third base umpire says he is out. Beery will get the strikeout. Escapes the inning, only giving up the home run to Miranda. The Bobcats will look to respond up next. The top of the order back up for the Bobcats. It will be Cam Bryant looking for his first hit of the game. The Norse keeping Bobby Bartlett out on the mound. He's been fantastic for them so far. Really limited these Ohio hitters.
Yeah, as I mentioned, he's just one over the minimum so far. Had a walk to lead off the second inning, but he's retired every batter since then.
Gets the swinging strike there. The 0-1. Breaking ball comes inside for strike two. Kind of froze Cam Bryant there. Wasn't really ready for that to come all the way back into the strike zone. The 0-2. Gets the check swing, and he went. That will be strike three. Another strikeout for Bartlett, his third.
Yeah, and the second on the day for Cam Bryant. This NKU pitching staff has really done a great job limiting the production of the top of this Ohio order. You've got Bryant, Slanker, and Dolan, three hitters who have been on the upside of this season. So far, they've kept them in check.
Called strike one there. Low, Slanker not ready. Didn't want to attack that one early. The 0-1. Grounded by Slanker to second base. And Tyler Shaneyfelt will get the out. A routine play. And Bartlett making more quick work of the Ohio hitters. Just doing a fantastic job out there right now.
Yeah, it's just really like Ohio has nothing going for them with their bats right now. Had a great first inning, but just haven't been able to find anything going for them after a 3 spot in the opening frame.
They'll look to Nick Dolan now. Reached once on a walk this game. We've talked about how the veteran has been hot of recently, and he's going to look to continue that. Hopefully to get his team and get a run going here. the 1-0. Swinging, foul tipped back, 1-1.
Yeah, Dolan riding a 4-game hitting streak. If he doesn't get one here, he might have one more chance to extend it. But the Bobcats will take just about anything right here.
That one lined into left field, and it will drop for a base hit. Just a perfectly placed ball over the infield and in front of the outfield.
Now batting for the Bobcats.
We'll see if that's all it takes to get the hits going for the Bobcats.
Yeah, it's kind of like what I said about how Nick Dolan came out of his slump at the plate. Sometimes you just got to see one drop. And maybe for the Bobcats, that's the one they needed to see get in there for a base hit.
Bartlett inside for ball 1. Trey Cassidy up to the plate now. Looking to do some damage here with 2 outs. Called strike. 1-1. Attacking the inside there again on Cassidy.
It's a good spot from Bartlett. Freezing up Trey Cassidy.
Goes for it again, but that too low for ball 2. Dolan adds some speed on first. 9 stolen bases so far this season. Cassidy will swing, and that one gets through by Shaneyfeld. Dolan will go to third. Keeping the streak alive. That one will... We'll see if that one gets ruled as an error or a single. That was a hard hit ball. I would assume a single there.
Yeah, I'd imagine it goes as a single. I mean, Shaneyfeld was in the vicinity of the ball, but that was just a blister off the bat of Trey Cassidy.
And it will go down as a single.
Now the Bobcats are threatening for the first time in a while.
Got a runner in scoring position with Nick Dolan on third. As ball 1 is issued to Jackson Cawthron.
Yeah, Cawthron gave the Bobcats their first runs of the day back in the first. And another chance to put some runs on.
Inside again, ball 2. Bartlett has recently been loving that spot, and it's been working for him most of the game. The 2-0. Swinging is fouled away. 2-1.
Yeah, Cawthron's not going to be one to shy away from a big moment.
No, we saw Cawthron, first pitch swinging. Both of his at-bats. The second at-bat, he flied out to center field on the first pitch. He's definitely ready to attack as he does there. Line to Shaneyfeld for out number 3. Bobcats get 2 base hits but are unable to get one in. Top of the 6th is up next.
Men left on base.
A new arm for the Bobcats, Luke Bryant, the freshman from Ashland, Ohio, making his 9th appearance of the season. Bryant has a 9.31 ERA. Kind of had a rough outing in his last one against Kent State. 1 2/3 inning pitched, gave up 5 earned runs on 3 hits and a walk, also striking out 1, but hitting 4 batters.
Yeah, I don't think that Kent State series was anyone's best. But if you're Luke Bryant, as I mentioned, every game is a new opportunity. The slate is washed clean, and he's got a chance for redemption here in an 8-run ball game.
Braden Rogers up to the plate on the 2-0 count, swinging. This one flied to left, and that one will be out of play.
That ball was hit a mile into the air.
He got a hold of that one just way early on it. The 2-1 pitch. Gets him swinging again. That one is fouled again. 2-2. Bryant went against the Norse earlier in their game this year, pitched a full inning, gave up no runs, but had 3 walks and a strikeout, as that one is lined to Dolan, and that will be out number 1. Another hard-hit ball, but does not result in a base hit.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of loud contact from this Northern Kentucky lineup, and I think Ohio's starting to find its footing defensively just a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like we've seen the pitchers starting to trust their defense more, letting a lot more balls go into play instead of just trying to dot the outside corners for the strikeout, as he gets strike 1 here called.
Yeah, Jimmy Serra came in, did a great job just letting his defense make a play. And Adam Beery also, I mean, he gave up 1 hit. Obviously, it was the home run, but still not a bad showing. And if you're Ohio, you just got to trust in your pitching and hope that your bats can wake up at some point.
Yeah, the Bobcats bats got out to a hot start with 3 runs in the first, but have been quiet ever since. Marcus Harrison up to the plate now for Northern Kentucky with the 2-1 count. That one is roped into left center, and it will drop. Brady Alexander with the sliding effort, but unable to make the catch, and Harrison will walk on to second standing up.
Yeah, good effort from Brady Alexander. Just unfortunate that he was unable to make a sliding grab. Would have been an insane play for the crowd to witness here, but nonetheless, NKU with a chance to tack on.
Yeah, Alexander had a lot of ground to cover there. That ball was put perfectly into the gap. Very impressive that he even had a chance to make a play on the ball. Strike 1 called against Sam Bond. Bond struck out looking his last at-bat. Now has a chance to do some damage with a runner in scoring position. This pitch a little too low. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Inside, ball 2.
Yeah, Bond recorded RBI number 16 on the year. But he's got a chance to add to it, maybe do it by way of a hit.
That one outside, call for ball 3.
Yeah, Bryant trying to work with these outside parts of the zone, but not working out in his favor.
He's close, just haven't been able to get those corners. The 3-1 pitch. That one will be low for ball 4. Runners on first and second now for Brennan Rowe up at the plate.
It's the first walk issued by Ohio since the leadoff man in the 4th inning.
Yeah, we saw a stretch in the first where they walked 3 batters in a row, and that was a very big problem early on. They've definitely been able to get their control on their pitches better. As the throw to second is way off. Harrison will hold up at third. Not really sure what Bryant was thinking there. He just did a simple pickoff move to second, not looking to do anything, and he just sailed that one into center field.
Yeah, and it looked like when the ball was in the air, it looked like Cam Bryant turned his back, wasn't paying attention, didn't know that the ball was coming his way. Just a brutal mistake for this Ohio defense.
Again, now putting Northern Kentucky in scoring situations with a runner on second and third now. As we get ball 1. 1-0 count for Brennan Rowe. Rowe does have 23 RBIs on the season. Looking to add to it here. The pitch 1-0 will be called ball. 2 balls and 0 strikes for Rowe. Just 1 out in the inning.
Yeah, Bryant, with that first batter, was just attacking, giving his batters something to swing at.
Rowe fouls that one in off of himself.
And we saw that on that last pitch, but the 2 pitches before in the at-bat, we saw him kind of playing with the corners, playing with the outside parts of the zone, trying to paint there and get those called strikes.
The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Bryant working back here, gets to the 2-2 count. Strikeout would be huge here for him. The 2-2. Swinging, chop to third. Trey Cassidy makes the throw across. Gets the second out of the inning and no runners advance.
Yeah, it's a textbook job there by Trey Cassidy. Like I said, we don't see him at third a lot, but today he gets the start over at third and does a great job charging in, fields the ball, looks the runner back to the bag, and gets the out at first.
Even though that may look like an easy play, a slow roller, the time he doesn't have a lot of time, so he could have panicked or pressured there, but he made the good throw. Swing and the miss from Mark Nowak for strike 1. Two runners in scoring position here for Nowak. That pitch is outside for ball 1. Nowak, just 2 RBIs on the season. Like we mentioned, the freshman coming into the game with just 1 hit. Got a second one in the second inning. Strike 2 there. Bryant has a chance to get himself out of a jam here with the 1-2. Outside. Nowak thought about it, but did not swing.
Yeah, it's a good miss there. If you're Luke Bryant, you have some pitches to work with. See if he can chase.
The 2-2. Grounder to short. Dolan will make the throw, and it is in time for out number 3. Ohio escapes another inning and does not allow a run despite 2 runners in scoring position. The offense will be back up looking to score their first run since the first inning. Up next. The Norse with a new pitcher on the bump. The senior Jake Johnson, 7.47 ERA on the season, making his 14th appearance. Johnson is a transfer from Ohio State, where he played 2 seasons there, 2022 and 2023. As he gets strike 1 there.
Yeah, that's 2 former Buckeyes we've seen make a pitching appearance. We saw Landon Price early on in the 2nd inning, and now we get a little Jake Johnson action.
As Blake Reed will get plunked on that one. Right on the hip. Looks to be all right as he walks over to first base. The first time all game the Bobcats have gotten the leadoff hitter on base.
Yeah, we've seen Northern Kentucky have a lot of success getting the leadoff man aboard. And now for Ohio, we finally see some of that success, albeit by way of free pass. But at this point, if you're Ohio, you're into the 6th inning, you're trailing by 8. You'll take a base runner any way you can get.
For sure. Now Drew Cox up to the plate, and he swings for strike 1. Cox singled in the 1st inning and struck out in the 4th. Now with a runner on first. Check swings. That one just gets off of his bat for strike 2. Did not want to swing at that one at all. Just grazed the barrel.
Yeah, just not an excuse me swing because he didn't go around far enough, but thought about it for a brief moment.
The 0-2. And it will be ball 1. Attacking the outside corner now. Foul tipped away, 1-2. Johnson's had great control so far this season. That was only his 2nd hit by pitch on Blake Reed, my bad. And only just 10 walks this season, as that one is flied into right field. Josh Williams will camp under it for out number 1. And Blake Reed will go back to first base.
Yeah, Jake Johnson, product of Medina High School. So we're going to see a pinch hitter here for the Bobcats. It'll be Caleb Carl.
Caleb Carl looking for his first hit since March 4th in their game at Marshall. That'll be ball 1.
You've seen Caleb Carl used a lot of times as a defensive replacement, but here we see him get a plate appearance off the bench, and it's more than likely he'll take over in left field for Alexander, who was 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts.
Yeah, not an ideal day for the freshman. Carl now gets a chance. Ball in the dirt, ball 3, 3-0 early on. Carl just making his 37th at-bat of the season. 0 hits in his last 13 at-bats.
He's got 2 multi-hit games on the year. They were early in the season.
That one high for ball 4. Johnson gives 2 free passes to the Bobcats early on. Only 1 out in the inning. And Trenton Neuer with a chance to do some damage in the bottom of the 6th.
And it's like I said, you're down by 8, 6th inning. You're going to take whatever you can get on the bases, and now you got Neuer at the plate.
That one drove it into center field, but Mark Nowak will make the play. Out number 2, no runners tagging up there. Runners will stay on first and second.
Just so many loud outs for the Bobcats, and a lot of it is from these first pitch swings. We've seen them be aggressive early on in these at-bats all game long. And they've gotten some good swings, but hasn't worked out quite the way they had hoped.
Cam Bryant now steps to the plate, the leadoff hitter. Strike one called. Bryant, not a fan of the call. 2 strikeouts this game for Bryant. See how it goes on the 0-1. Strike 2 called on the outside. Bryant, we've seen one of those guys being attacking early, waiting now. He's well in on that plate. Left foot on the chalk. That one low for ball 1. The 1-2 pitch. Swung by Bryant. And that one will go foul. Two-strike approach there, just kind of chopping away at anything close. Looking for, hopefully, a pitch he can drive here into a gap, not at a player, which we've seen plenty of this game.
Yeah, I think Bryant himself would say he's due.
Ball 2 called. 2's at the plate for Bryant. The 2-2 pitch. Reached out and fouled away from Cam Bryant.
I like the aggressiveness right here from Bryant. Doesn't want to go down looking.
No, showing great fight in the box. This one is chopped up the middle. Sheinfeld makes the play. What a scoop. And he did not get a safe at first.
Looked like the throw from Sheinfeld was in time, but Miranda took his foot off the bag. A costly mistake for Northern Kentucky. Now the bases are loaded for a guy you probably don't want to see up with men on base.
The man who hit 2 home runs against him, against the Norse, the first time these two teams faced off, it's Ben Slanker. He's kind of had a quiet game so far. I'd say he's due for one.
They're going to give that an E4 for the error charged on Tyler Sheinfeld.
Miranda made a great effort to stop that ball, which he did, just fortunately pulled his foot. That will go down as the 10th error for Sheinfeld so far this season, as Slanker looks for 1-0. Low, ball 2.
This is what you got to do. You can't let the situation get to you too much. You still have to be patient, get the pitch you want, and then do whatever you want with it.
That one high and away for ball 3. They don't want to give anything to Slanker here with bases loaded. The 3-0 pitch. Right down the middle for strike 1.
Now if you're Slanker, you've got the pitch that you want. You've seen them throw you a strike. Now you know how to attack.
They got to go at him with bases loaded. That one fouled out of play. A full count, 3-2-2. This could be a monumental at-bat for either team here. That one fouled out of play.
We see the runners taking off on a full count with 2 outs.
Yeah, anything in the gap here is going to be scoring 3. But Slanker just looking to stay alive. The 3-2 pitch. Up the middle. And it's fielded by Johnson. He'll flip it to first for out number 3. Despite the bases loaded, the Bobcats are not able to get a run across the board. We'll see you back in the top of the 7th, up after the break.
New pitcher on the bump for the Bobcats to get us started in the 7th. It's Colby Passarelli, the redshirt sophomore from Durham, Connecticut. It's been a minute since we've seen number 16 on the mound. His last appearance a month ago today. 2/3 of an inning, 4 earned runs off of 3 hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout up at Toledo. This is Passarelli's 4th appearance on the year. Only 2 2/3 innings pitched total.
2 high pitches early on, just trying to get settled in. Like you mentioned, hasn't pitched in a long time.
He does have a save on the season. He recorded one against Central Michigan on the 15th. As a 4-pitch walk right out of the gate to Tyler Shaneyfelt. Norse get the leadoff man on once again.
Left fielder number 17, Logan Davenport.
Now Logan Davenport, who's only 1 for 4, but he has homered, and he's made a lot of loud contact so far. Let's see if Passarelli can give him an opportunity to make something happen.
Yeah, Davenport is never an easy out. A lot of hard hit balls tonight.
It's the 1-0 upstairs. Passarelli yet to issue a strike. As Blake Reed will make his way out to the mound, have a talk with Colby Passarelli. After this, the Bobcats will be right back here at Bob Wren for the Battle of the Bricks. The Miami Redhawks coming to town for 3 games. On Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we will have all 3 of those games for you on ESPN+. As the 2-0 finds the bottom part of the zone. First strike thrown by Passarelli. 6'3" left-hander. Ground ball over to third. Diving grab by Cassidy. Throw to first. Not in time.
A tremendous effort by Cassidy there, getting the stop. I didn't think that ball had a chance. He was playing pretty tight to third base, and there's a big gap in between him and Dolan, but lays out and keeps the ball in play in the infield.
Yeah, Trey Cassidy, talk about leaving it all on the field. Fully extends his body. Just can't make the throw in time, and we play on. First 2 batters on with no outs, and now Gabe Miranda at the plate. He homered his last time up. He takes a called strike.
Not an ideal situation for Passarelli coming into his first game in a long time, and he has to go against the top 3 hitters of this Northern Kentucky lineup. All 3 are just great athletes, a lot of power.
This Northern Kentucky team has had its fair share of tests throughout the season, as ball 2 taken there to Gabe Miranda. This Northern Kentucky team in their non-conference, they have a win at Indiana to their credit. And as far as some other quality non-con opponents, they played at Louisville on March 18th. And then later on this season, a week from today, they make the trip as we got Tyler Shaneyfelt catching Passarelli napping. Takes third to himself, and I think the umpires are telling him he's got to go back. Don't think it was a live ball situation.
No, it looks like they didn't start the clock yet. Or they did start the clock in the outfield, but they weren't supposed to.
A little miscommunication there. Shaneyfelt goes back to second. We'll try again. 2-1 from Passarelli. This one up the middle into center field, base hit. Shaneyfelt sprinting around third and into the plate. Standing up is Tyler Shaneyfelt. RBI single from Gabe Miranda, and the Norse add another run to the total, 12-3 in the 7th.
That was a great hit by Miranda. That was in on his hands, and he was somehow able to get the barrel around to send that ball up the middle.
And how about the speed of Tyler Shaneyfelt? He was booking it from second to the plate. Now Josh Williams stands in, takes a called strike. As I was saying before, Northern Kentucky not messing around in their non-conference schedule. A week from today, they make the trip down Interstate 75 to Rocky Top, where they'll face the Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee, the defending national champions. It'll be a good measuring stick game for the Norse next Tuesday.
They also got Kentucky in May there, another SEC team. Not afraid of scheduling any tough opponents.
May 13th, the Norse will head down to Lexington. That's right after they play Wright State as well.
That's a big series.
Well, gauntlet from May 9th to the 13th for NKU. As this one fouled away. Northern Kentucky located in Highland Heights, Kentucky, roughly 5 to 10 minutes south of downtown Cincinnati. So they get a lot of Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky recruits, some great athletic talent in that area. As that one runs up on Josh Williams. And they're going to call him out. They say he did not. They're going to say he leaned into that one.
He's got the elbow guard on, and it looks like he knows he got the elbow guard on, so he just stuck it out there.
Yeah.
And
Or it just looked like he didn't even move. He just stood in the box and let it hit him. So out number one for the Norse comes after the umpires say that Josh Williams leaned into a pitch. It'll go down as a backwards K. So officially, Williams has struck out looking 3 times tonight. As we'll move along in the order, it's Braden Rogers, the designated hitter. 2 on, 1 away in the top of the 7th. Passarelli, breaking ball, finds the zone, called strike 1.
We've really seen Passarelli really start to settle into this game. He's starting to look more and more confident with every pitch.
This one upstairs. Ball 1 the count to Rogers. There's 1-1. Swing and a miss.
Had some nasty break on that. That one really dove down low. Got him.
1-2, the count to Rogers. Hasn't recorded a base hit yet. He has reached base twice, but he won't there. Called strike 3. Second straight looking strikeout delivered by Passarelli, 2 away.
If it's working, keep going to it. Breaking ball has been nasty tonight. Gets him looking. It's a great pitch.
Now 2 on, 2 away for Marcus Harrison. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI single and a double. Northern Kentucky last season finished second in the Horizon League, but they won the Horizon League tournament, earning them a spot in the NCAA tournament. There they played in the Knoxville Regional, where they, as we were mentioning before, lost to Tennessee, who would go on to win the national championship. They were then bounced in the elimination round by Southern Miss. Another quality opponent out of the Conference USA. Their regional, believe it or not, featured obviously Northern Kentucky, Tennessee, and Indiana. 2 of those teams they would go on to face this year. as Passarelli fires one high and away, 3 balls and a strike. Ohio, on the other hand, has not seen postseason action since 2017. Winners of the MAC tournament and into the NCAA tournament as a walk issued to Marcus Harrison with 2 away. That will load the bases with 2 outs.
Loading the bases at any point in this lineup is dangerous. Everyone can make an impact on this team.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've seen that again from top to bottom. No matter how it's done, these Northern Kentucky batters have found ways to get on base and make things happen. Now, bases juiced, 2 outs for Sam Bond. Ball 2. Ohio in 2017 played in the Lexington Regional, where they fell to the host Kentucky Wildcats in the opening round before bowing out of the tournament to Indiana in the elimination game. Two-one the count to Bond. Fouled back. Northern Kentucky and Ohio meeting for the 5th time all-time. Northern Kentucky winning every single matchup. 2-2 to Passarelli. This one chopped foul down the third base line.
Yeah, you talk about the history. These two teams playing 2 times this year, home and away. Northern Kentucky taking the first one. They also did that last year with Northern Kentucky taking both of those. So these teams are pretty familiar with each other at this point.
And you might be thinking, well, Northern Kentucky and Ohio pretty close to each other in terms of distance. The Norse have only been a Division I program since 2012. Payoff pitch. Ball 4, and that will bring home a run with the bases juiced. The 3rd time that Sam Bond has reached by way of walk. And it's a 10-run lead for the Norse, 13-3 here in the 7th.
Passarelli has had 2 great strikeouts, but the walks have been killing the Bobcats all game.
First pitch to Rowe is low for ball 1. So the Norse began the transition to Division I in the 2012-2013 school year. They were in the Atlantic Sun Conference for the first 3 years before joining the Horizon League in 2015. 2-0. Rowe thought about it. He holds off. It's called strike 1 anyway. Northern Kentucky awaits Oakland this weekend. That game, or that series rather, back in Highland Heights, the Bill Aker Baseball Complex. Here's the 2-2 outside on the breaking ball, full count. We'll see again, runners more than likely to take off as soon as the ball leaves Passarelli's hands. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Inning is over, not before Northern Kentucky brings home 2. But the bases are left stranded. We'll stand up and stretch. Northern Kentucky ahead by a decade, 13-3. As we head to the bottom of the 7th.
Sing along as I sing, take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and crack.
Bottom of the 7th here in Athens. Northern Kentucky ahead by 10. Potential for the run rule is in play. We don't know if the two teams agreed to have a run rule in place tonight, but that is something that is a factor in non-conference play. The run rule after the 7th inning must be agreed upon between the two schools. With that, we've got a new pitcher for the Norse, Noah Sackenheim, a 6-foot redshirt senior out of Hamilton, Ohio. 8.84 ERA. This is his 13th appearance on the year. 1-1 to Nick Dolan. In conference play in the Mid-American Conference, the run rule is only in play whenever it's the last game of a series. And it's the typical 10 runs after 7. And if that's where the score stands at that point, the game's over. Not sure entirely if the same rule applies here. But our friends over in the press box, over on the other side of the press box, informed me that it has to be agreed upon between the two schools. 2-2 to Nick Dolan as he watches that one upstairs, full count.
I'm sure the Bobcats are going to want to put some runs up here so they don't even have to worry about all that.
Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Dolan down swinging. Sackenheim quickly strikes out a batter to start the 7th.
Dolan really wanted that one. Put a hard swing on it. Just whiffed on it.
Now Trey Cassidy with one away. Cassidy, 11 multi-hit games this season. He singled back in the 5th. Looking to add to that number. His father, Kurt, played minor league baseball for the Marlins organization. Cassidy fouls this one down the first base line, 0-2 the count. As I mentioned earlier, the Bobcats will be right back here at Bob Wren on Friday, Saturday, Sunday to face the Miami Redhawks. Battle of the Bricks action. 0-2 to Cassidy. Just misses outside, 1-2.
Great take by Cassidy. That was right on the outside corner, and with 2 strikes, that's sometimes a risky pitch to take.
Sackenheim the 1-2. Just misses again. Tried to work him upstairs.
Great
Barely
job.
Misses.
Great job by Sam Bond. That was a great framing job by him, trying to bring that ball back in to get the called strike. But the ump wasn't buying it.
2-2. Swing and a miss. 2 batters, 2 strikeouts. Quickly 2 away for NKU and potentially Ohio down to its final out. Jackson Cothran stands at the plate. After a very productive first inning, the bats for Ohio have gone dead silent. Just 2 hits since that opening inning. First pitch, Cothran looks at this breaking ball for strike 1.
Sackenheim has been dealing in this inning, attacking the Bobcats hitters.
Swing and a miss there. Cothran quickly down 0-2.
He's daring them to get a hit. He's going right at them, and they're just not picking up what he's throwing.
Bobcats might be at their final strike, the 0-2. This one fouled back. Cothran lives to see another day. Sackenheim winds and deals. Misses upstairs, 1-2.
Great pitch at 0-2, kind of higher there, right at that eye level. Sometimes you can get those hitters to chase at those.
Cawthron singled back in the first to drive into the 1-2. Down and inside, evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. All 3 Ohio runs came in the first inning, 2 of them off the bat of Cawthron. Sackenheim will try again. This one on the outside part of the plate, and now the count is full.
Great fight going from 0-2 to 3-2 with the game on the line.
Payoff pitch. Line foul.
Inside pitch, he got way around that one. He was ready for it. Was able to turn his hands quickly on that one.
We'll try again. 3-2 to Cawthron. One fouled away again. Cawthron doing everything he can to stay alive and give his team a chance to extend this game.
Going on the 8th pitch of the at-bat right now.
Payoff once more. Appeal down to third. They say he didn't go around. And Cawthron, down 0-2 in the count, works his way to a walk. And the Bobcats momentarily stay alive.
Great hold by Cawthron right there. Again, ball near higher the zone. He almost wanted it, but he was able to hold back and keep this game alive.
Yeah, we're talking run rule. Again, we don't know for sure if the 2 teams agreed to play with a run rule. Well, I guess we'll find out if Ohio goes down this inning without bringing a run across. The Bobcats may be looking to not let us find out. Reed sends this one to left center. Underneath it is Nowak to make the catch. And that's the ball game. Northern Kentucky sails into enemy territory and makes its presence known here in Athens. Final score in 7 innings, Northern Kentucky 13, Ohio 3. The Norse improved to 23-16 on the year. Ohio falling to 9-30. Evan, after this game's over, what are your final thoughts?
Final thoughts is just shows how important it is to score early. That 8 spot Northern Kentucky put up in the second inning was all they needed. I mean, Ohio looked to show fight on the offense in the first inning, but the bullpen for the Norse was lights out. Really limited the Ohio hitters. But yeah, that 8 spot in the second inning was so crucial and just shows how important the big inning is, especially early on in the game.
Yeah, as I mentioned, Northern Kentucky 23-16 on the year. That 8 spot in the second proving to be all the more important. They will take this momentum into their Horizon League series at home against Oakland. And Ohio will look to rebound from this. And they've got a big one coming up. Miami, again, coming into town for a weekend series. Winning pitcher for the Norse is Bobby Bartlett. 4 full innings, gave up 2 hits, struck out 3, walked 1. He improves to 4-2 on the season. As for Ohio, the loss credited to Trey Barkman, inning and a third, 2 hits, 4 runs, 2 of them were earned. Walked 4, struck out 1. His record on the year falls to 2-3. And that's going to wrap things up here from Bob Wren Stadium. Alongside Evan Johnson and our outstanding production crew, I am Carson Francis. We thank you for tuning in to Ohio Bobcats baseball. Enjoy the rest of your night. Northern Kentucky takes this one in 7, 13-3.